Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Adam. Just with obviously one final game here against Toronto, what's the goal here in this game? Obviously, it's not going to change your position in the standings or your first round opponent, but what are you hoping to achieve with this final game?
Just kind of reinforce some good habits. Hopefully, get through it unscathed and feeling good, ready for the playoffs. I think it's just about cementing the things we've been working on and trying to reinforce some of those good habits and good ideas that we've been getting better at over the course of the year, and so we can hit the ground running when we get to Edmonton.
We'll go back to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, sorry about that, Gregor. Just a follow-up, Adam. Does it matter if you win? Like, I know you want to win going in to the playoffs, but does it matter as long as you're doing what you just suggested? You're building on what you've been doing. Does a victory matter going into the playoffs?
Well, we're not going to the game to lose, so we'd like to win, obviously. But yeah, I think what you're trying to say is the process more important than kind of the end result. And you can argue both sides of that. Obviously, at the end of the day, we're playing Edmonton. We know we're going to start on the road. So, but yeah, we'd like to finish the year on a good note, string together a couple wins, feeling good at home before we head to Edmonton. So it'd be nice to finish the season with a win for sure.
We'll go next to Paul Friesen from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, thanks, Gregor. Hi, Adam. A couple of you guys were talking about how you're looking a little enviously down to the U.S. a while back and how they're getting restrictions loosened and getting their vaccinations ahead of us and stuff. And now that everyone in Manitoba 18 plus is eligible, how is it going on that front? Are you getting vaxxed and encouraging teammates or?
Oh, I think everyone's decision to get vaccinated is a personal one. I think, I don't think it's my place to speak for other people to speak whether they should or they should not. I'm getting in line when I can. So, that's a personal decision, but, I'm not going to tell anyone else that they should or shouldn't. I think that's something where they need to do, their own reading. They need to, kind of talk to the doctors, talk to the experts, and, form their own opinion on that.
And just to jump in here, Paul, so in the interest of player privacy, we won't, let individuals that have been vaccinated, but some members of our traveling party, including players, have been vaccinated to this point, and they have been doing so according to the eligibility laid out by the province.
Thanks,
just for some context. I'll go next to Kelly Moore from 680 CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thank you, Gregor. Good afternoon, Adam. Now that you know the schedule ahead of you and there's some clarity on that, does that also help in the preparation process? Because I don't know if there's ever been as aggressive a first round where you could potentially play 7 games in 12 days.
Do they release the actual schedule?
They released we have
the time frame.
Starting time, and then the dates for the remaining games times to be determined. Yeah,
okay.
Hard on that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I hadn't seen anything officially released. So, but that's a lot of hockey in a short amount of time. But it's one of those things. It kind of just seems like that'll carry over from the year. A lot of games, not a lot of off days. Usually it's not a lot of practice time in the playoffs anyway. So it kind of seems like it'll be good. You'll get right into the series. You'll get a couple games underway quickly and things like that. So we're really looking forward to getting underway, to battling the Oilers, and it's kind of what we've played for all years, is to get the playoffs, and knowing that it's going to start early next week, we're excited for it.
And we'll go to Kelly Moore for a follow-up. Go ahead, Kelly.
So just as a follow-up to that, Adam, is it important at all for you to have a healthy dose of Matthews and Marner if they dress for the Leafs tonight, just to get ready for McDavid and or Draisaitl for next week?
I get what you're saying. I think the matchup styles are a little different. McDavid is kind of in a league of his own right now, just the way he's playing. And when you look at Matthews and Marner, they're so dynamic, but they go about it a different way. So, matching up, and the routes are a little bit different. Kind of the physicality is a little bit different. The time and space and knowing where they are in the offensive zone. Like when we have the puck, in their end versus knowing where McDavid is when we have the puck in their end. Because, a split second, a quick turnover, McDavid might have a breakaway. Whereas, Marner and Matthews a little more dynamic when they're kind of coming up the ice together, or there's a quick turnover, Matthews can kind of score from anywhere. So it's one of those things where, you kind of have to go about your job a little differently depending on who it is you're trying to shut down or trying to eliminate their scoring chances and things like that. But, it's always a tough test whether you go up against those two or Draisaitl, McDavid. It just kind of a different approach. So, it would be good to go out there against those guys, play them hard and, feel good going in to the Edmonton series.
We'll go next to Sarah Lusky from TSN. Go ahead, Sarah.
Hi, Adam. What was your biggest takeaway from the season series with the Oilers?
Yeah, well, I think you go back a few years to the team they have now. They're a lot deeper. They're much improved. They're a lot better defensively. It's been hard for us to generate a lot of scoring chances, and Mike Smith's had a great year. So obviously, Draisaitl and McDavid, their seasons speak for themselves. It's going to go down as one of the best seasons in modern history, especially. You look at after the rule changes and things like that. It might be the best one ever. So, they've got a couple world-class players. They defend well as five, and they're super dangerous off the rush, and their power play is lethal. So, there was a couple hurdles that, we kind of need to figure out before we get this series underway that, is going to lead to some more success for us. Obviously, we're 2-7 against them in the regular season. You'd like that record be a little better. The games were closer, -1 or 2. So, we feel we're going into this series with a good chance to win, and that's what we're going to kind of try and start game one off with.
We'll go back to Sarah for a follow-up. Go ahead, Sarah.
With the focus that Paul and your group have had lately about trying to get your game right to get into the postseason, where do you feel you guys are at in that process right now?
Yeah, every day I feel like we've gotten better. I think you look at the last 3 or 4 games, I think, the amount of chances we've given up and the kind of chances we've given up have gone down a lot. Earlier in the year, we were really plagued by giving up a lot of rush chances. And, that's something we've continually tried to work on. I think, that's all you can ask for is improvement over the course of the year. And, now the slate's wiped clean after the game tomorrow. And, we're looking to really go into the playoffs feeling good about our game and, giving ourselves the best chance to win every night.
We'll go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Thanks, Gregor. Afternoon, Adam. You guys have 8 forwards and double digits in goals and 2 on the verge. What impact will your depth have, or could it have, in this series?
Yeah, it's huge. I think depth scoring in the playoffs, if you can get scoring from all 4 lines, the back end, that can be the difference in the series. Yeah, usually you look at kind of the top stars going head to head, and whether it's a soft or give or take a couple goals, and it's kind of the secondary scoring those third and fourth lines that usually are the difference in a 7-game series. So if we can have all these guys chipping in, and we can continue getting contributions from different spots in the lineups on different nights, it bodes well for our chances.
Just a couple more for Adam. We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Thanks, Gregor. Adam, you'd said there's a number of hurdles you need to get over before you're ready for that series. What are those hurdles, or what can you tell us about those hurdles?
Well, I more meant so from the series in the regular season to the style kind of just tighten things up. I think one's the rust chances that they generate, and you look at McDavid and nobody seems to have that answer yet. So we'll still be kind of looking for that one, but it's kind of giving up those chances off the rush, those ones where you necessarily don't need to give up the chances. Those chances you can eliminate. That's going to be key. And then I think special teams they had a lot of success against our penalty kill. That's going to be a big focus. Special teams can be the difference in a series. So I look at those 2 things as being of great importance for how we're going to play against those guys.